Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the One Stop Wrestling Podcast. I'm Alex, and I'm joined today by Rohit, and we have some big news to talk about today regarding WrestleMania 40. Rohit, how are you today?
I'm doing good, yeah. Just seeing some of the stuff a bit earlier, and yeah, let's get ready to talk about it, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. It is big news. We had the WrestleMania 40 kickoff show last night in Las Vegas, and it was certainly an eventful evening with The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins all involved. And we now have our WrestleMania 40 main event, which has been officially, you know, disclosed by Triple H as Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Universal Championship. So let's give a quick timeline of the events because there's been a lot of talking points in WWE over the past week. So Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble for a second week in a row. He pointed to Roman
Second
Reigns.
year in a row.
Second year in a row. Yes. Yeah, he pointed to Roman Reigns and the WrestleMania sign. Next night on Raw, Seth Rollins asked Cody to challenge him instead. He has the workhorse title, etc., etc. And then on SmackDown, in a big turn of events, Cody Rhodes seemingly stepped aside for The Rock to take the main event spot at WrestleMania. Obviously, we had CM Punk go down with an injury. Brock Lesnar has been pulled from pretty much all WWE events. So we lost two big stars for WrestleMania. I think The Rock's idea was to fill that gap. The fans rejected it, myself included. I did not like the fact The Rock took Cody Rhodes' spot. And since then, we've had hashtag We Want Cody. We've had the Monday Night Raw just gone, which was hijacked a little bit by the crowd with Rocky Sucks chants. So loads going on. And last night it was all cleared up at the kickoff show. It seemed. Have you seen it, Rohit?
I seen some of it, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed as if The Rock has turned heel.
Yes. I, I feel like, I don't think this was intended. I think they did switch directions, at least like from my point of view. It seems like this wasn't the intended plan. This was like, yeah, let's switch direction, even though they want to say, yeah, this was always the plan, but I don't know. But it feels like I think the direction they're going, plus the extra wrinkles that they are setting up now, seems interesting, but at the same time, was it necessary? I think you already had the long term story there. You could have just gone Cody Reigns straight away. And if anything, you could have had Seth versus Rock, I guess. But
Yeah,
it's
I'm with
really
you.
weird.
I think they switched. I think they
Mm,
realized they got it wrong and they've switched
yeah.
to placate the fans really because I think if Rock and Roman Reigns closed out WrestleMania, I think the fans would have crapped all over the match if I'm honest.
I mean, I saw a funny meme earlier. If The Rock and obviously Roman was the main event, I saw someone do an edit where finger, what was it? The finger point of doom
The finger poke of
2.0?
doom. Yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah. With
that's
Hogan and
it.
Nash.
Yes, and Roman lays down for The Rock, and yeah, that's quite funny. When I saw that, I had a little chuckle at that. But yeah, I mean, if this was the whole plan all along, I don't think it was necessary for Cody to get more of a even more baby face like feels or reaction towards him. But if
Yeah.
this was the plan all the time, it's very weird that they went this way. But I do feel I'm leaning towards, yeah, they decided to change it after the whole reaction because maybe they thought it's not as vocal if they do this way. But yeah,
Yeah,
bit
I think
strange, but interesting now at least.
yeah, yeah. I think The Rock wasn't expecting the backlash that he got. Um,
Mm,
don't know if that's his ego or something else similar.
yeah.
Expecting
Mm,
that the fans would just accept that Cody was just stepping aside for no reason, really.
yeah. I
And
think if Cody didn't have like the established story and they were just like, okay, like, yeah, he did win last year, then they had no story, no nothing in between, and then Cody suddenly wins again, and then they're like, okay, now we're gonna carry on without the year of like on and off build.
yeah,
Then maybe they would have been more receptive. They'd be like, oh, they need more like story build for Cody before he can do it. But because they've already done that in the past year to fill that time, I feel like they have to kind of do it unless they have something clear in mind. Like for example, they already announced, oh, Starcade, we're bringing back Starcade, and it's gonna be in Madison Square Garden. If they announced this like maybe yesterday or something, then maybe like, okay, they're probably saving that Cody moment for there because that would make more sense for Cody and the whole attachment with Dusty, WCW, Starcade, everything like that.
yeah.
But because they haven't done something that obvious, then they'd be like, surely it has to be at WrestleMania, then, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're right. The crowd are fully invested in this Cody story.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have anything like you said last year. He won the Rumble, he challenged, he lost,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody thought, well, okay, you know, he wants to finish the story. It will happen. He is the obvious babyface, the company babyface going forward. He will
Yeah.
be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns, and the crowd are fully invested in Cody. You know, there's not a lot of people in this day and age that would win 2 Royal Rumbles in a row and the crowd be completely happy with both of them. And
Yeah.
it feels like Roman Reigns has had a 3.5 year reign. MSG would have been a really cool place to end it with, like you said, the whole Dusty connection. But I
Yeah.
feel like it has to end at WrestleMania. It's such a big moment that will happen, and I feel like it's the only stage to do it. And surely Roman Reigns is not going to walk away from WrestleMania as the champion. Surely.
Surely I agree, but here's the thing now, if The Rock has turned heel, they got an out if The Rock costs Cody, and then
Ooh,
obviously you can have Roman beat Hogan's record, and then you can have that MSG moment where Cody beats Roman at an MSG event if they're gonna go that route.
that is incredibly risky though, because
It
the
is
you could
100%.
just completely turn the fans off. They could
Yeah,
be like, well, do you know what? Cody's failed 2 years in a row. I'm fed up of Roman. I'm fed up of this. I don't want this anymore. And they could just completely switch off from the story. Um,
100%. I agree, but that's where The Rock does come in because then you can have Rock versus Cody potentially like in a feud, and then culminate at SummerSlam, and then you have a huge match for SummerSlam, and
yeah,
then obviously after that, I think people are saying maybe November time, MSG Survivor Series potentially or something like that. I'm not
it's
sure.
around that time. Yeah.
Yeah, potentially. Then obviously that's where you have that energy, and that's where Cody finally gets another crack at Roman, and then potentially have that. But again, I do agree. I think the fans want it, and the sooner the better. But again, if they want to break Hogan's record, I'm not sure the exact dates, like how long that would
It
be.
would be past SummerSlam. I know
It would,
that.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So because then if they are going that route, it makes kind of sense because then you have Cody, Cody versus Rock at SummerSlam. He beats The Rock, and then maybe The Rock like turns kind of maybe not face, but maybe like you beat me, you deserve another shot. Maybe you do have what it takes. Here you go. And he gives a little endorsement, and that's it. And then Rock does his thing, whatever. Maybe appears at Mania again, disappears, whatever he wants to do. And then Cody can have a like pass to MSG, and then maybe that happens then if they go that route.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know, but it's interesting because I feel like the Rock wrinkle now it's interesting unless they do a 3-way like a triple threat, but I don't know how that's gonna work either. So it's
You're right.
interesting.
It is interesting. And you mentioned The Rock going heel. It did appear like a heel turn last night. So
Yeah.
he came out. He was getting booed by the crowd. Let's just say that straight away. And he
Hmm.
kind of leaned towards the sort of angle of me and Roman are family. You are disrespecting our family when he talked to Cody and Seth Rollins. And it almost seemed like him and Roman made this sort of alliance of sorts. It wasn't like a complete we're bros now. It was more like a mutual respect between the two. But they were seen shaking hands on stage, you know, because Roman said he wanted to face The Rock. And then The Rock and Roman shook hands. And then Cody came out and said, this is bullshit. I am going to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I'm the Royal Rumble winner. I have that shot. And then he called out The Rock and Rome. He called out Roman and said, your grandfather would be ashamed of you. The High Chief Peter Maivia, who is The Rock's grandfather, would be ashamed of you. And then The Rock sort of took the stance of, you are disrespecting my family, my bloodline. You're disrespecting Roman's family. We have the same family. So it seems as if, and then The Rock slapped Cody Rhodes. And he has also appeared on the Pat McAfee show. I don't know if you saw that as well.
I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, and he started referencing the Cody fans as the Cody crybaby fans. So it appears like he is really tapping into that heel side of himself, whether it was intentional or not, or whether they're just going with the flow because of the fan backlash. And the closing shot was The Rock and Roman Reigns walking out together, and they interrupted Triple H and they told the CEO that they wanted this situation fixed. Fix it. They're disrespecting our family. Fix it. So there's been hints of, you know, they could do The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins at some point, because Rollins was out on the stage and he was sort of playing the babyface. Rollins didn't really have a lot to do, but he was sort of stood on Cody's side.
Is Mania 2 nights again?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So there's rumors of night one, the tag team match that I just mentioned, and then obviously.
Yeah. Think we're having some technical issues, or?
Yeah. Alex, are you there?
Alex? Think you just got cut out. Not sure what happened to Alex. But I think
I just got cut off. Sorry.
Yeah, you just got cut off. Okay, we're back. Don't worry.
We're back. Yeah. So I was just mentioning, the potential matches for WrestleMania. It's been joined by Alfonso. Alfonso, how are you, sir?
I'm amazing. Like, last night was such a ride. It was very well done. Like, the mix with reality was very well made. After everything happened, you had that panel with Pat McAfee, Big E, CM Punk, and Michael Cole. And CM Punk was throwing insults to The Rock. And you can see The Rock just watching CM Punk from afar, and you remember what happened the last time in 2013. So I think that also was very well made. Also, one of the things that in my head right now is that what if we get The Rock against Seth Rollins?
Yeah,
and we got Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes, because maybe the Bloodline won all the titles. So maybe you have one main event is The Rock against Seth Rollins, and the other main event you have Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes.
Rock versus Seth Rollins, CM Punk special guest referee.
That could be amazing. Like
that's a good way to get Punk on the card with him being injured. But we were just discussing potential WrestleMania matches just before you joined, Alfonso, because obviously you saw the event last night. It did seem like The Rock went heel and has almost made a small alliance of sorts with Roman Reigns. And there was, rumors of Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes on night one.
The thing is that we don't know yet, because the only thing that is official right now is the Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes match, and that's it.
Which can change. They could add The Rock in there.
As a special referee or whatever.
We don't know yet. But at the moment, that's the only confirmed official match.
I
Uh,
really want they to do like a steel cage match or a Hell in a Cell match with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. That way you can eliminate the bloodline from the equation, and having a main event of WrestleMania being a Hell in a Cell match, I think it can do wonders for WWE.
That's an
yeah.
interesting way to do it. Yeah, we're almost certainly going to have some kind of bloodline involvement.
Mhm.
But
I
Seth
think that
also,
they,
Rollins doesn't
yeah.
seem to have a made opponent yet.
Did
So
they tease kind of like an authority versus bloodline angle in
who
a sense,
knows? Who
potentially?
knows?
yeah,
Potentially, because the Triple H wasn't like yes, Rock Alsote. He was like more like you don't speak to me like that in that kind of tone, in a sense. So
But I think that what was
interesting.
wonderful about that is that The Rock right now is a member of the board of TKO.
Yeah.
So you have a different power dynamic. And also,
Hmm.
I think it's very important that video because the only guy that is talking to Triple H, like being mad, was The Rock. And then you have Roman Reigns just being like a lackey, just like following
yeah,
his his big cousin steps. And it
Hmm.
was very fun to see because it was like, is The Rock the new head of the table? It
yeah,
was The Rock always the head of the table, and they were just trying to do the match just for the family's sake. It's very interesting. It's very
Like I
interesting.
was saying to Alex before you joined, finger poke of doom 2.0.
Oh no!
I seen a joke about that, like a meme. So
it was a great event last night.
yeah.
If you any of our fans haven't seen it, go and watch it. It was like cinema watching that. It was so interesting. It was back and forth. The crowd were on fire as well. Loads of talking points. Um,
But I also
now
think we have to talk about the other part of the show. Like, you had one of the biggest face to face with Rhea Ripley against Becky Lynch. I don't know if that was well made because maybe you're giving out the winner of the Elimination Chamber. So
yes,
right now, I don't want Becky Lynch to win.
Mm,
there could be backlash against that because it seems so obvious and
yeah.
forced, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I don't want Becky Lynch to win now.
Yeah, I mean, who else is there for
Liv
Rhea at
Morgan.
WrestleMania?
That would be a great
True.
story. We discussed that on our Royal Rumble show, and it would make for a great story. Liv Morgan coming back.
The only issue is where does that leave Becky? Because she is still one of the biggest stars. What would she do at Mania? Like,
She is the biggest female star, but I feel like
yeah.
she's a little bit stale at the moment. I love Becky as
Of
well.
course, yeah. It's just I feel like if you have big stars, especially I think WWE, I think especially with like Punk not potentially being there in a wrestling role, Lesnar being Paul, they want all the big stars available in like marquee matchups. And for Becky, there's only really Rhea, unless like, there's something else that I'm missing. Which don't get me wrong, if she doesn't face Rhea, that's fine as well. But she doesn't have to. She doesn't need it. But if you are gonna put your big stars in big matches, I think that's the only one she kind of fits at this moment, unless there is something else.
Rhea versus Becky is a
Mm.
star power match that would
Yeah,
draw a
But
lot of fans to it for
like,
sure.
but maybe you can do a multi-man match. I think
you
this
could.
mania.
Yeah.
I think this mania is open to do that because you have so much star power to do that.
I mean, since the Elimination Chamber is in Perth in Australia, or is it Melbourne? I'm not sure where, but it's in Australia.
Perth, Perth, Perth.
Okay, Perth, yeah. Um, let's say Becky, Liv Morgan are the last two in the chamber, and before maybe Liv's about to beat Becky, and Rhea comes out, attacks, and basically makes the chamber like almost like a no contest in a sense, and then
Ugh,
you have a
no,
three-way Rhea
No,
versus Liv
no,
versus
no,
Becky.
no.
the
Don't
fans
mess.
would shit all over that. You can't make a
Yeah,
chamber match and no
don't mess with
contest.
the chamber match. I'm pretty
It's like
sure
it's
you're.
like what happened with the Hell in the Cell with
Yeah,
Seth
I'm
True,
Rollins
pretty.
and Bray
Yeah,
true,
Wyatt. That was
true.
I'm
awful.
pretty sure. I'm
But
pretty sure.
WWE do some awful
No,
things
no,
that work out
no.
sometimes,
Rohit,
don't they?
Rohit, go sit on the corner, and you can speak in 5 minutes. That was an awful idea, man.
You've been told, Rohit. So let's go get back to Cody and Roman and Rock. Now I was one of those fans who was really pissed off when Cody stepped aside because it made no sense whatsoever. He won the Royal Rumble match and he's just like, oh, I don't really want this right now. Here you go, Rock, you can have it. And it was an awful booking decision in my opinion. So I'll ask you guys, and I'll start with you, Alfonso. Is Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns the match you wanted to main event WrestleMania?
Yeah, I think that's the story I want to see. That's the match I want to see, and I think there is only one conclusion: like Cody has to win.
This is what we said earlier. He has to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rohi, is this the match you wanted, or are you one of those guys that wanted the star power and the name power of The Rock versus Roman Reigns?
Personally, if you want the match that I wanted, put Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov as the main event, but that's neither here and there. That's neither here and there. But yeah, I think Cody versus Roman just makes sense, and obviously, I think if it was between the two, I'd rather have this than Rock versus Roman. Rock versus Roman, perfectly fine, but it doesn't make sense in the context where they actually have a story. WrestleMania's past, where sometimes they don't have a long-term story, fair enough. But this WrestleMania, where they do have a long-term story, it makes no sense.
Yeah, I think that's obvious. I think everybody wants to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns, but just not now. It's not the right time.
No.
But
I mean, after last year's WrestleMania, if The Rock came out and says, "I'll see Roman at SummerSlam" or something, I think that would have made sense. At least then you're like, okay, they have time with Cody, they can do the Cody story, and then by the time Royal Rumble comes around, we'll have the situation we have now between Cody and Roman. But
but
now to put The Rock in doesn't make sense.
I think the most beautiful thing is that we still have 2 months to go to Mania, and
Yeah.
everything can
Hmm.
happen in these 2 months.
Yeah.
Like I'm still waiting for the match against like Jade Cargill against Bianca Belair, maybe. Like
Hmm.
you still have so many names that aren't doing anything right now at Mania. Like what
I mean,
is
Cargill
going?
could be in the chamber.
Yeah, of course it can be in the
Mhm.
chamber. I think that is going to be
Yeah.
one of the surprises for maybe Raw or SmackDown next week.
Yeah.
But you said before, Gunter. Gunter, I think, is going to face Jimmy Uso in Australia. But is he facing Jimmy Uso at Mania? Is
Jay
Gunter
Uso.
I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is Gunter losing to Jay in Australia and then facing Jimmy against Jay for the IC title at Mania? Like we have 2 months to go, and I think it's awesome because the road to WrestleMania has never been so easy to be manipulated and changed because you have so much star power, you have so much stories going on, and that's what every single year should be.
It's really exciting, isn't it? This is, again, we said it about the Royal Rumble. It's one of the most anticipated WrestleManias in a long, long time, isn't it? So many things could happen. Um, we had The Rock obviously looking like he was a heel, and Cody just came in and said, I want my shot back. I feel like WWE and Cody and The Rock and whoever else is involved need to explain why Cody stepped aside
Yeah,
and
of
why he
course.
then decided to, oh no, I want the shot back. Otherwise,
But
Yeah.
you
that's
can get some fans that would be like, well, hang on a minute, it doesn't really make sense.
it
Why is
makes
this happening?
sense. It makes sense. He's the boss. He's the new TKO boss, CEO, you know? Like my
But we
boss,
need to know why Cody stepped
I
aside.
think they need to say that, like,
my boss asked
as
me
the
to move
boss, the Rock
aside of if not
yeah, or
I mean, you could go
something
that
like,
route, yeah.
like, because it doesn't make sense. It's like, yeah, I don't want this. Here you go.
He won
No,
the
I want
Royal
my
Rumble
toy
match, for
back.
God's sake.
I want
yeah,
my
but
toy
this
back.
is like if your boss comes and goes, please give me the new toy. If not, you're getting fired. You give him the new toy. Is
But he hasn't done anything to earn the new toy. And
But
the
bosses
And
doesn't do
we
that.
have we have
Like
we haven't seen that. We need to see. That's why he said
yeah,
somehow,
exactly.
some
But
way.
I think
that's what I'm saying. I think we need some kind of explanation. Otherwise,
Yeah,
the crowd might be like, well, this is a bit
yeah, you're right.
weird. It doesn't really make
it's too
sense. And we don't
messy.
want
Too
the
messy.
crowd to turn on the match in any way just because of the fact that they haven't tied up the loose ends in the story. So I think we need some kind of explanation. But
I think also that in the interesting thing is that people are calling this new rock a heel rock, and I don't think it's a heel rock. I think it's a corporate heel rock, because one of the most interesting things is that he was speaking like a corporate rock, the corporate champion, and then he just became a heel. So I think this new persona. I'm going
The
to say
corporate
something.
bloodline.
Yeah, I'm going to say something very blasphemous, but I think it looks like The Rock can be and can feel that Vince McMahon, I'm a prick persona. We know that Vince McMahon is a motherfucker in real life, but it was also the character. So maybe Rock can
you're
be
talking about
this.
the on-screen character, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Because
yeah.
because
I
he
mean,
can be this prick that doesn't listen to the crowd, and he just want to do whatever is good for business and for his family, because I think it's very important, like when he showed the bloodline uh tree, and he was saying like right now there's only one family in wrestling. I think that also resonates with the McMahons not being the power, and then him facing against Triple H, just saying like fix this. I think it's very
yes.
interesting. Like you have so many little threads of story that you can develop in authority storyline, a Cody Rhodes storyline, or just a bloodline storyline. I think it's very nice and very well done. Really, very well done.
Absolutely agree. They did a great job last night, planting lots of little seeds, and it was amazing to watch. So yeah, gentlemen, we'll wrap it up for this show. Go, like I said, go and watch the event last night in Las Vegas. It really was great TV. Guys, thank you so much again, Rohit and Alfonso. It's been a pleasure.
No problem.
Thank you, guys.
And don't forget, everybody, to like and subscribe to One Stop Wrestling on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. And we will see everybody next time for another One Stop Wrestling podcast. Ciao, guys.
Ciao.
Ciao.